Hi guys, welcome to this weekly discussion on the Women's Premier League. This is Shayan Chatterjee. Joining me today is Syed Tausif Ahmed, of course. We'll be going through the matches of the past week, the first week of the WPL, and take a look at the upcoming matches as well. Tonight there's another big match between Delhi and it's UP tonight, no?
Yeah,
Tausif?
yeah.
Yeah. It's another huge match in the offing. Uh, so, where do we start, Tausif?
Uh, where do you want to start? The positives or the negatives? I mean, the highs or the
Let's
lows?
start with the positives. I think.
I think there is a huge positive in what we are seeing from Mumbai right now. They're
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
dominating the game in all
yeah,
fields. So, like, there are many thoughts that came to my mind after seeing this dominance of Mumbai Indians, especially the match which Mumbai played against the Delhi Capitals, because against Meg Lanning, I feel Harmanpreet Kaur has always been clutch in important games. So
yeah,
it just shows that she is at par with that level for people who think that women's cricket is just a one dimensional, one horse race. It is actually not. We have a captain who can lead from the front and contribute to the team in all respects. So that is a very happy thing for me. Like Harmanpreet Kaur flourishing in the women's IPL after the World Cup.
yeah. Also, talking about the Mumbai Indians, I remember the last live that we did, which was just before the tournament had kicked off last week. So we had discussed the Mumbai Indians team in detail because the first match was featured Mumbai Indians, right? And I remember we discussed some of the names who have actually gone on to do well for the franchise. Haley Matthews is one such name. The other obvious name is, of course, Harmanpreet, who has herself done pretty well so far with the bat, and of course, in terms of her captaincy as well, I think she has been pretty
Yeah,
perfect so far in terms of trying to restrict the opponents, picking up, bringing on bowlers who can give you wickets in crucial moments and all of that. But apart from that, the biggest surprise that Mumbai Indians and the WPL has thrown us so far is, of course, a certain player named Saika Ishak. I personally am very excited about her because I think
yes,
she is someone who is just like Deepti Sharma in terms of how the trajectory that she bowls at, but she is also a very good wicket taking option because of
yeah,
the angle that she bowls from.
yeah, yeah.
So
And the line
I
and
think
length, I think
yeah,
that is just perfect.
when you see her bowl, it feels like she has been playing at this level for quite a few years, which is not actually the case. So also one more thing that I got to know about, I'd like to discuss on this live today is key on the WPL website, official website that the league has. They
Hmm.
have a, stat column that features the most valuable players of all the teams so far, and the top five of the most valuable category. In the top five, three players are from Mumbai Indians. So that I think is enough to show you the dominance that they've had. So they have Haley Matthews at number one. They have Nat Skivobrandt in number two, who's another all rounder for Mumbai Indians. And they have Saika Ishak at number five. So Meg Lanning and Elise Perry are number three and four. So three Mumbai Indians players in the top five most valuable players so far. So that itself tells you the story, I believe, because we discussed the other day that Mumbai probably has the most balanced team. They have a lot of all rounders, which is something I stressed on that live as well. And I heard one of the commentators speak to Julan Goswami the other day on the dugout, and she mentioned this point in particular, saying ki it was a strong focus area for them to get hold of as many all rounders as they could, because they know ki in Indian pitches especially, it is going to be high scoring, and you need people who can do multiple jobs at once. So I think that strategy has paid off for them so far.
I think what has been a phenomenon, especially among this star-studded Mumbai team, is Saika Ishak. So, and I think the atmosphere has been very welcoming. So, credits to the franchise for that. and Harmanpreet Kaur has always backed Saika Ishak. So there are many things that aligned. Again, she's from Bengal, and Julan Goswami is in her camp. She's her bowling coach. So there are a lot of things aligning here. I just hope she takes away the maximum amount of advice that she can from here and then go on to play international cricket, because yes, we can see here at this moment she is at par with the world class players and she's dismissing them. So you're mute.
Yeah, sorry. Also, she has the attitude that she has towards bowling and just competing in general. It's very heartwarming to see because she's just a small, tiny figure on the pitch, but when she has the ball in her hand, she is very excited and very animated. And whenever she gets a wicket, she gives it back to the batsman a little bit also. So it has been truly an eye-opening experience watching some of the domestic players play. So we've already mentioned Saika Ishak, of course, but some of the other players who have also done when Shriyanka Patil for RCB in a team that hasn't really performed up to their level so far. I think she has been one shining light for that team. In a similar manner, someone like a Harleen Deol, who is kind of
Even a
reinventing herself. Yeah,
Hemlata
even
also played.
yeah. So these people have kind of risen up to the occasion and shown that they can compete. Of course, Harleen has been a part of the Indian team for so
Yeah,
long now, but she is also someone who divides opinion a lot, right? Because some
yeah,
people think she's neither here nor there when it comes to her batting or fielding ability, because she's not that much of a bowler, but she still gets into the team as an all-rounder. But in this WPL so far, she has been very responsible with the bat for Gujarat and was probably one of the biggest reasons why they won their third match. So
yeah.
yeah, so going
I
from
think that
straight, yeah,
yeah, go on.
go on.
Yeah, so like I think that uh, especially in this WPL, even if I'm comparing with the inaugural edition of the IPL, I don't think we had seen so many domestic players get the limelight and showcase their talent like on the biggest stage. So I think that itself is a very good thing for India, that they really have a good base covered in women's cricket. So it's now among giving the talent pool that those facilities and then helping them to get better and better. So yeah, you expect these things always when something like a WPL happens, but to see these things happen over time live, it's a very good feeling.
Also, I don't know how many of the our viewers watched have covered our coverage on Instagram. We did a graphic recently where Isabel Wong of Mumbai Indians has spoken about Julian Goswami's style of mentorship, and she said ki Julian knows exactly when to speak to us, when to advise us, and when to stay away and let us figure out our own mistakes. So when you have people like Charlotte Edwards, someone like Julian Goswami in your camp, it automatically gives you a solid base to work from, right? Because these people have worked with the best and they have played the sport or been associated with the sport for 20-25 years now. So whatever they say, you just take it all in and try to improve yourself as quickly and as rapidly as possible. So that is clearly something that you can see with someone like a Saika Isha, someone also like Yaspika Bhatia. Yeah, as we welcome Pritish to the live. Pritish, we are discussing about the Mumbai Indian star performer so far. So I was talking about Julian Goswami's mentorship so far. So
Yeah, I was.
yeah,
I, yeah, I was hearing the chat. Yeah, so yeah, I agree. I mean, Mumbai Indians have been like they have been phenomenal. In our preview chat, also we discussed that this is one of the teams to look out for. But surprisingly, the team which we deemed the weakest is not the weakest,
yeah.
and it has
And
been
the
a
team
silver
that both
story.
of us were supporting is apparently the weakest.
Yeah. So no, but yeah, I mean, Mumbai Indians. I think yeah, you when you look at the again. So Mumbai Indians again. I think we had this discussion on the that day also that one of the traditional franchisee from IPL. They know how to run a franchise. They understand every bits and pieces of franchise business, franchise cricket. And when you look at that, their scouting is already like one of the best in world when it comes to T20 because they've scouted insane players who have gone on to become really good T20 players. So now Issy Wong, that is, I think, a lot of people didn't know about her, but those who follow WBBL or those who have seen 100, they knew that she's a brilliant talent, a superb all-rounder, which is coming to foray. And Saika Ishak, again, that's Jhulan Goswami masterpiece, picking up a 27-year-old Indian uncapped player who has been grinding it out on the domestic circuit. So I mean, as you rightly mentioned, that the having these names who understand the cricket, like women's cricket, like anything, and Mumbai has used the the intelligence of all their coaching staff pretty well. I mean, we can see that, and not and coming to Harmanpreet, her execution of those plans is top notch. I mean, you don't expect anything better from a captain. I mean, she has bowled, I guess, five bowlers in power play till now, which no team has done. When she needs a pacer, she brings on Issy Wong. When she needs raw pace, she brings Vasrakar, or Nat Shiver is there. And Saika Ishak, surprisingly, last game against DC, Saika Ishak, no, sorry, not DC. Was it DC? DC was the last game they played, right?
Yeah,
Huh. Saika Ishak came into power play, which we didn't see in first two games. So I mean, the execution of those plans is like top notch. So I mean, Mumbai, though, they have been too good.
yeah, yeah. So, like I was saying, the likes of Pooja Vastrikar you just mentioned, even someone like Yastika Bhatia, who has been giving the team decent starts for the last couple of matches. So, all of them are gathering confidence as they go along, and that is very good to see, because this is such a short tournament also, because there's only five teams, and uh, in franchise cricket the general rule is that you always get a chance to come back after the first few matches, but that won't be the case this time around, right? Because you only play that many matches in itself for the whole tournament. So like अभी आरसीबी का ये सीन है कि they have lost their first four. Now everybody will be expecting them to fight back, but it becomes extremely even more difficult to fight back from this position when you have only just a few matches remaining to play. So going from the top of the table to directly to the bottom of the table now, what are your thoughts on RCB, Tausif, Pritish? Why have they
Yeah, I
not
was
been performing
supporting
so far?
RCB. I was supporting RCB. So yeah, it has not disappointed. Honestly, I'm speaking. RCB had a star-studded lineup. They had players who were brilliant in their positions, uh, and I think uh, I don't want to sound but I don't think Smriti is a good captain in that term. I don't think so. Her leadership mentality, especially when it comes to not just managing the Indian youngsters, because she is like like captaining the whole side, which contains international cricketers. So I think somewhere down the line, she is underutilizing her side, which on paper the RCB side looks very good, but then when it comes to important situations, it's just those small moments which you can see from Harmanpreet Kaur. Those risks right from the beginning, shuffling your bowlers in the power play, taking those gambles. So they actually pay off, and here the experience of a captain factor is also coming in. That is also coming in. So I think, yeah. Um, I don't think RCB from this point can qualify for the eliminator. But at the same time, I really hope they gather back momentum and get themselves accustomed into the way of things here, so that this isn't a forever thing. It is a thing which you fall back and learn from, and then again come back next season.
I think RCB. This
Pritish, do
is
you
a
think
very
Sophie Devine would have been a better choice?
no. I mean, I don't think
Uh,
Sophie Devine would have been a better choice, because what Tosif said is fair to an extent given the four games, but I don't think it's a too small of a sample size for me to judge Smriti Mandhana at the moment. Because what will you do if your two most experienced players in the squad, Richa Ghosh and Renuka Singh, are not performing at all? I mean, it goes down to that also when your experienced players are, not bailing you out when they're supposed to. So that is also there. Yeah, definitely Smriti has like she hasn't looked that confident as a captain. But what Elise Perry said, that she needs backing, and I believe that's gonna happen. But my point with RCB is, again, it's a template from men's IPL that this team has the strongest. I mean, come on, you have world's two best all rounder. You have upcoming wicket keeper. You have one of the world's best batter. Where do you go wrong? Nobody knows where do you go wrong. So there is no definite answer to what RCB has done. But this is very weird. They have been bundled out inside 20 overs twice. They're bowling at 300 partnerships. All the whatever has happened in WPL, whatever, they are always on the wrong side of record till now. And probably this is following the template of first season of what RCB did in men's IPL. So nothing much difference. But yeah, to pick out some things, uh, I don't think that bowling unit looks cohesive to me at all. That bowling unit is at all over the place. There is no depth. I don't know what the management is doing, what Vanita VR is doing, or what the Ben Swire is doing. But when, as a bowling unit, RCB doesn't have a plan. Absolutely no plan. Like, I don't see any definite plan, that because Harmanpreet has been acing the matchups. That if there is a Meg Lanning, I'll get this player. If there is Shefali Verma, I'll get this player and get the. They contend the whole DC unit जिसने 200 run दो बार किए थे. That was not a small feat to do, and with the likes of, and despite Meg Lanning not getting out. I think had Meg Lanning played till some point of time after that, she got out. Imagine had Meg Lanning, been there till the end, the score would have different. But they executed their plan to perfection. So I mean, RCB is looking all over the place. No clue. I don't see any tactics when they're bowling. So that is one observation. And the second observation is the bowling. It's the same, there is one big foreign name which will come and score runs for you, and the other big names around it will fail. So it very much, I think it's on the Indian part. Despite having this team, they are struggling a lot. And I think, as Tosif rightly mentioned, the captaincy still looks shaky to me. But I'll have Smriti, I wish that she has that backing for season, because she's a good captain that is there. But I just, at this moment, it's very shaky.
Yeah, I think like I was saying that only this is like too early for her to settle into things since she doesn't have that experience of international captaincy. So I hope the tables turn because first of all I'm supporting RCB and second of all I don't think there will be anything better than India if they get a leader in Smriti Mandana too.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So Prakash in the comment section wants us to talk about the lack of communication that RCB has shown. They've had, I think, the most run out so far, three in fact. Yeah, so that is also that also typifies the points that we are making, right? The understanding just seems to not be there at this point for whatever reason. Maybe the time before the tournament has been too short for them, for the side to gel as a team, or these things take time for some teams. It doesn't just happen overnight. So yeah, let's see if they can bounce back. So I have a very very interesting stat to understand the RCB situation. So in the top five run getters list, both Sophie Devine and Elise Perry are there. Elise Perry, courtesy the half century that she scored last night, I am guessing, because she hasn't scored that big in any of the other matches. But even then, you see them lagging in the bottom of the table. So it's clear that there have been some players who have been putting on a decent show, but the overall, so when you in franchise cricket like IPL or WPL, you have to be more than the sum of your parts. That is something that all commentators always say. So I think that is the issue right now for RCB, wherein a few of their players have been playing well on and off, but most of the other ones, like you mentioned, Richa Ghosh, she has been pretty disappointing so far. Smriti Mandana herself has gotten out to very weird looking shots in the first couple of matches. So yeah, and their domestic players haven't looked that lively so far. So I think there's a lot of work to be done. But yeah, it's still a smallish sample size to judge Smriti Mandana or the franchise as a whole. But let's see if they can turn it around and maybe win the last few matches.
Yeah, and
Yeah. So
since you mentioned, yeah, I had just one point to make. Since you mentioned RCB, this one name, Shriyanka Patil. I mean, she has shown in that, that messy side. That's only bright side for RCB. If there is any retention system coming up, please retain Shanka Patil RCB. Please retain, because that girl is amazing. Like, it takes a lot of guts to play those shots at this level. Honestly, she's a kid. She's a literally kid when it comes to the other players. And I like, you have players like Harmanpreet played more than 150 T20s in their career, and then there is this girl who comes at this level, and then she plays all those outrageous shots. I mean, to me, for someone like me who has been watching women's cricket for this long, those were outrageous shots. And that confidence is something very insane when your team is not doing well. So I really hope that RCB, takes a note of this, and Shriyanka Patil gets more and more chances, because that's going to be insane for India if you find a number 7 batter like her.
Yeah, I think Shriyanka came out to bat yesterday, and in the first over itself, she tried a reverse scoop kind of a shot that went for a boundary. So yeah, she has been the shining light for RCB so far. So another interesting thing that so in the previous discussion we had Pritish, me and you, I think, were there in the discussion just before the WPL started, and we were discussing the two teams that we didn't feel like have the greatest of balances in this squad, and those were Gujarat Giants and UP Warriors. But UP Warriors have been the entire team has been a pleasant surprise, right? They have been doing decently well. Alisa Healy has led from the front. Deepti Sharma has been decent so far. They have Talia Megra, who is another experienced pro who has been getting the job done for them. So this is another interesting stat. So the highest score, individual score so far in the Women's Premier League, it belongs to Alisa Healy, who scored a 96 not out. And the second highest is also one for another UP Warriors player, and that is Talia Megra, like I said. And similarly, with the ball, the best strike rate that anyone has in the WPL so far is Grace Harris. This is with the ball. So you can see that on both accounts, some of the teams, their foreign players have hit the. I mean, they've just started in beautifully in the domestic setup, but some other teams, they have been struggling in that front. So I think UP Warriors is one team where all their foreign players, all each and every one of their foreign players have shown up so far, and they've done very well in the opportunities that they've got. And they also have someone like a Kiran Navgire to
Yeah, I was
counteract
going to
the.
mention that.
Yeah, they have a Kiran Navgire to counteract those middle overs that mundane stuff that goes on in T20 cricket sometimes when it comes to the middle overs. So I think Kiran Navgiri is another big asset for them. But what do you guys think about the UP Warriors performance so far?
I
I
think
think, yeah,
I
go on.
don't, you go, Taza.
I think like what you exactly mentioned, the foreign players' performance have been exceptional. It has been exceptional to a point where we kind of uh, can tend to ignore in some matches the domestic players who are playing their performances. They have been overshadowed, or I do not want to use the term overshadowed because it's a responsibility of the team and that responsibility is shared. So, senior players have stepped up and shown the domestic players how it is to be done. So, I think it's a wonderful template that is going on in UP Warriors, and I'm sure that these players will emulate these heroics which the foreign players or the international players are doing at this moment. So, like right from the front, I think Alisa Healy has been an excellent captain. Without mentioning that, I don't think it would be fair to comment on the UP Warriors because people were a lot apprehensive, especially when it came to Alisa Healy about captaining an IPL side, the UP Warriors. So there were a lot of talks going on, but I think she has done justice to her role and what she wanted to contribute here. I think there's a greater cause for everything, and Alisa Healy has successfully done that or is in the process of doing that. So yes, I think UP Warriors has been the biggest positive for me in this IPL, especially in regard of the development or the upskilling that the domestic players are getting.
Yeah, just to pick up from that point, what you just mentioned, if you go through the UP Warriors bowling attack, so they have a young Anjali Sharwani there, right? And she has been paired with someone like a Lauren Bell or someone like a Shabnam Ismail, who is probably the fastest bowler in the planet in women's cricket today. So when you see these players, when you train with these players, when you bowl around them, you stay around them all day and off the pitch, on the pitch, you get to learn so much stuff. And it has been apparent when it comes to Anjali Sharwani ki she has had a spring in her step in the last couple of matches. Even when she goes for a boundary or a six, she doesn't mind that happening, because she knows that it will only take one ball to get herself back into the game. So that temperament, building that temperament, is a huge part of franchise cricket for the domestic players especially. And I think with the bowling lineup that they have and the experienced middle order batters and someone like a captain like Elisa Healy, players like Sophie Eccleston, Talia McGrath, Grace Harris, they have a wonderfully balanced team, which was not quite apparent when the auction was first completed, or maybe we judged them a little too soon. But they are also yet to unleash, so to speak, the two players that we have been looking forward to watch, which is Shweta Sehrawat and Parshivi Chopra, both stars from the Under 19 T20 World Cup. So yeah, that is also, so they can go up a level still, is the point that I'm trying to make in terms of the Indian players' capabilities, at least.
I think UP Warriors, their biggest thing is the variety of foreigners they have. Because again, I think the match against DC shouldn't have lost. They shouldn't have lost that game had Harris been there. Because that was a big miss. That was a gamble which they took, and they failed in that. But again, it's like, yeah, they had a right thought process behind it, because Shabnam Ismail was their best bowler in that game against that onslaught. So when you look at it, I think UP Warriors, the point is that players like Grace Harris or Lauren Bell or Alisa Healy, they have like one thing, that is the dynamic skill set. Uh, Lauren Bell or Grace Harris, they can either contribute with bat, they'll either contribute with ball. So, and the second thing is, even if you look at their Indian lineup also now, so Shweta Sehrawat is not scoring right now, but it's just a matter of time that she can, find her mojo back. And Deepti Sharma is back in form now. So once Deepti Sharma is back in form, your 4 overs are not gonna go anywhere with those 20 runs and one or two odd wickets, or sometimes 3 or 4 wickets also. So I think they are now there is the balance is coming back, because the second game against DC, they were completely hammered. The bowling was so completely hammered by DC, and that game was won on matchups, because DC promoted Jess Jonathan to counter Sabni Ismail and the spinners, which she did pretty brilliantly, and Jemima Rodriguez was insane when it came to that partnership. So I think full marks to Alisa Healy. Honestly, all the doubts on her, I don't know why people were doubting, because she's a pretty good captain in her domestic cricket. And but yeah, but still there were thoughts around that. Why not Deepti Sharma, and why not Alisa Healy? I think that was a right choice to go. That time also, I agreed with the choice that Healy needs to be the captain, because Deepti ke liye it will be a big learning curve playing under Alisa Healy and being the vice captain. So yeah, so I think they have been pretty good, and I really hope that they can counter Mumbai Indians, although they have lost one game. But yeah, still, I hope that in the next match they might counter Mumbai Indians. So it will be interesting to see.
Yeah. Another team that has kind of blown hot, blown cold somewhat so far is the Gujarat Giants. So they started off in a terrible fashion, right? They've scored what, some the lowest total so far in the league in the first match itself. And but the again, the beauty of franchise cricket, the very next match they posted a score above 160, 165, I think, in the very next day after that. But since then they have had Beth Mooney returning because of a major injury. They replaced her with Laura Woolward, who herself had a brilliant T20 World Cup. So how do you see their prospects? Because they have players like Harleen Deol, they have uh, someone like Laura Woolward, who's now coming in. They have Ashley Gardner. They have someone like Sneha Rana, who is now the captain. And they have youngsters who have been chipping in as well. Tanuja Kanwar has been a highlight so far. Mansi Joshi again has bowled decently in spells. So, what do you think about Gujarat Giants and their prospects of reaching the top four? Tausif?
I think Gujarat have a fair chance now that Laura Woolward is in the mix. Now, I think one area where they really need to step up, I won't say, but just a change in momentum would make things much better for Gujarat Titan is maybe one solo innings of Ashley Gardner or a match like that where the stars show that they can pull away the game single-handedly. So that gives the youngsters confidence. And I think that is one thing which will happen in the future because it is very tough for a side to lose their captain injured in the first match. There's no denying that, obviously. But we know that the Gujarat camp has so many brains, so many good cricketing brains behind it, guiding it. So we can be pretty sure about things changing rapidly, I think. And especially with Woolward, first, that was one thing which everyone considered why is Woolward not playing? And then now things are changing. So she's back in the mix. So I'll be very hopeful that she performs because anything, a comeback like this is always memorable. And she had a very good World Cup. She helped her side reach the finals. That is a big thing in itself. So if she continues her form in the WPL, it will be a dream run for her. And I do think that Gujarat and UP will give a tough fight to get that number 3 and number 4 spot.
I think Gujarat Giants were stuck with tragedy in the first game, and when they came back pretty well. What Tausif mentioned, first game, though, I think, let's be very honest, it was a masterclass by Mumbai Indians, and especially by Harmanpreet Kaur. Like, that is something you don't like, you can't win those matches if your opponent is that good. You just can't. And when you come out to bat, your captain is injured in the, like, second over. So I mean, it goes down from there. There was no coming back. Plus, I think what Gujarat has done well is Kim Garth is another big plus to them, because she's a pretty experienced player. And as Tosif mentioned, Laura coming into the side mean they have, like, adequate replacement of Beth Mooney there. And Sneha Rana has surprisingly impressed me with her captaincy. So she has looked very confident, and her response immediately after the first game was that it's okay. Uh, we will go out there tomorrow. That's a very good sign. That's a very good sign to, have a have a player, someone like her who is confident to go out there and take on others. So I think Gujarat Giants have a pretty solid case, as Tausif mentioned, and nothing is lost for them also. There are matches to come, and you never know when which team peaks and which team goes on. But again, why this is a very short tournament, so it's very highly unpredictable in the, like, in such short span what can happen. But at the moment, it looks like that Gujarat is going to be somewhere around third or fourth, according to me. So yeah, let's see how Gujarat performs.
Yeah, so let's just end this live with our predictions for the top four. I think we have veered towards that topic with Pritish's last answer.
I think we
So,
are too
what
early into this to make a prediction like that,
is it though?
aren't we?
No, I don't think so. I think
Yeah, I mean,
I
there's just one week.
have
Yeah, but it is a three week tournament,
ah,
right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
And
true.
the last week will be the playoffs and the final
Yeah.
anyway. So okay, let's do it this way. We'll pick one standout player from here on till the end of the season. Any one player from all the five franchises. Each of us will pick one, and we'll pick our own order wise. Con top four में finish कर रहा है out of the five teams. So let's start with Tosif. Tosif, you go first.
From RCB, I hope or I genuinely believe that Renuka Singh is going to make a comeback like she did in the T20 World Cup. Late, but
Yes,
she
she
came back
she
very
has kind
strong.
of gone under the radar, right? She hasn't
Yeah,
done
yeah,
very well at all. I think she has just one
yeah,
wicket or something like that.
yeah. So
Yeah.
RCB in my prediction will finish last because they have had the worst start to be honest. But they have a lot of things to learn from at least in this season, if not the trophy. So in the next, I really don't know who will come third or fourth between UP Warriors and Gujarat Giants, because now the Gujarat Giant seems like a team, especially with Sneh Rana also captaining the team. I think it's a well balanced squad, and they can give Alisa Ili and her team a run for their money easily. So yeah, I hope
So it is
that's a fair
Mumbai Delhi top
competition.
two for you.
Yeah, Mumbai, Delhi. Then 3, 4 is UP and Gujarat, and fifth will be RCB. And standout player Mumbai, Saika Ishak throughout, not just one week, throughout.
Big faith put on Saika Ishak there by Tasif. Fellow
Yeah,
Kolkatan, the
yeah.
Kolkata spirit coming through there.
She's from my hood.
Yeah, Pritish, go on.
So I think I have standout players. There are few. I can't name one actually. Shagai Shag is obviously the talk of the town. But what like as I mentioned, Shenka Patil stood out for me really. Like she has been brilliant. And Haley Matthews. I mean, nobody bought her in the first round. Look at her winning games for like she's having just fun out there, scoring runs, taking wickets, doing everything, taking catches in slip, dropping catches also. So she's doing everything what you can do on a field. So Haley
I
Matthews is there, and I
remember
think
I
hmm,
remember we compared her with Karen Pollard, and she has kind of turned out like Karen Pollard only, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Except for
yeah,
the fact that she opens the batting. Except
opens,
for
yeah.
that, everything
Hmm.
else is pretty similar.
Yeah, so I think like she has been good. Shanka Patil is there, and I think why my pick will be Shanka Patil. Given her team is doing pretty bad, she has impressed me most. And when it comes to the whole thing, the top five, like what is the ranking again? I think I'll go with the same because at the moment Mumbai looks unstoppable, but I would want them to derail and DC to go first. But yeah, for me right now Mumbai is at top. DC comes second, and I will prefer UP Warriors on third because I think Helios founder Mozo and her team and Dipti Sharma, captain, vice captain, both are back in form, like the two most dangerous players they have. Fourth will be Gujarat and fifth RCB because it looks pretty tough. I hope that my prediction might come out wrong. RCB might turn around a miracle and we will be talking about it next time. But at the moment, it looks pretty bad for them. So I think yeah, that's gonna be my order.
Also, if UP Warriors is third, then we would all want Shweta Sehrawat to be back in form. That is one performance that I'm looking forward to. That one innings.
Yeah, fair point. So for me, I think I'll go a little offbeat when it comes to the top four. I think Mumbai they are a sure shot top of the table. They're playing top of the table cricket right now. I don't think that is going to stop anytime soon. So I think I'll place Mumbai at the top. I don't really think Delhi will be able to sustain the level of performance that they have been putting up so far. I have a feeling Shefali Verma, they have a very well-rounded and well-balanced squad, but I just have a feeling that UP Warriors, with the experience and the distribution of foreign players that they have in different departments, it is a little more well balanced than the Delhi side, because I think now, like you said, Alisa Healy, Deepti Sharma, Grace Harris, all of these players, they are coming into their own a little bit, and I genuinely feel that they will finish just ahead of Delhi when it comes to the final points table. So Delhi third, UP Warriors second, and Gujarat Giants as the fourth team. RCB again, I don't think this season तो ज़्यादा hope है उनका for from what it seems at this point. My pick for the best player going forward for the remainder of the tournament would probably be Haley Matthews, like you said, Pritish. Even in the previous live, I mentioned that I don't know why there isn't a buzz around Haley Matthews, because she is the West Indian captain. She is truly one of the most athletic female cricketers out there. She's a brilliant bowler. She's a brilliant hitter of the ball. She's a very good fielder as well, both in field and in the outfield. So I think she genuinely is the complete package. And if opposition teams do not, and especially because she opens the bat as well, if opposition teams don't can't manage to get work out a plan to stop her early, I can see her tearing through most bowling attacks in the remaining matches. So I think she is going to be Mumbai's trump card going forward, and I genuinely back her to come away as the most valuable player once the tournament is at its fag end.
I mean, interesting choice with MVP of the tournament. Because yeah, that's gonna be another debate who's gonna be MVP. Because in men's tournament it's still little easy because you have handful of all rounders. But when it comes to women's cricket, everyone is all rounder. So
Yeah.
it will be very interesting to see who's picked, because there are people who are taking wickets, going out there, scoring runs, getting man of the of like women of the match and all of that. So it's gonna be very interesting. And meanwhile, we talk Gujarat Giants have opted to bat, and Laura is playing today. So another
Yeah.
interesting battle is DC versus Gujarat today. So what are your predictions for today? A little interesting to know.
So today it's Gujarat versus
DC.
Gujarat versus DC. I think DC take this one. I just a gut feeling, no proper reason as such, but I feel DC they have been playing decent cricket, although one result didn't go their way. But I still feel they'll have enough in their tank to pull one over Gujarat Giants tonight.
Tausif, what do you
I
think?
think it's Gujarat's night. I think it's Gujarat's night because there are so many things that are happening, and I just think this will work out for them.
I think Laura Woolward will be a huge signing for them if
Yeah, key
she
factor.
goes on to play
But
well. Yeah.
but the thing is that DC again has five foreigners. That is one thing which is very tough to deal with. Because if any one of them, if legit any one of them turns out on it on their day, the other team will find it difficult, because all five of them are very insane, like good players. And Carp and Jonathan, so I mean, they can bat, they can bowl, they can do everything. So I mean, DC has that advantage. So keeping that, I think DC is gonna win. So yeah.
Yeah, so we'll end this chat on a slightly different topic that I wanted to get you guys' opinions on. So what want to talk about is the telecast quality and the broadcast quality that we have seen in the WPL so far. So Geo Cinema is the online partner, of course, everybody knows that, and Sports 18, I think Viacom 18 is the broadcast partner, of course. So when it comes to the transmission on Geo Cinema, what do you guys feel? How has it been? How has the broadcast quality been? They have promised a multicam feature, which they kind of have delivered, although the scoreboard and some technical flaws are still there. But overall, I think what it was during the FIFA World Cup, there has been a significant improvement from the very first day of the WPL. So, what do you guys think about that?
I think I think if I talk about as a viewer experience, I think I don't have any complaints. Honestly, I didn't have any complaint during FIFA World Cup. Also, after like first week went by, first 5 6 games went by, because and see, it's understandable. Like if we go into history, Viacom 18 doesn't have a sports broadcasting experience. To be very honest, it's been 2 or 3 years. Then Wood has started doing it, and cricket and football though they never had. And like I nothing against Star, honestly, but they are much better than Star, because the kind of interaction as a fan you can do with the broadcast of, like for example, even for IPL also, for WPL also, they had mock auction, which was never a case, in IPL. It used to be just auction and you get over. In mock auction, as a fan, you want to see you want to see Scott Starling fighting with Anil Kumble, for a player. You want to see that as a as a fan. You want to, as a fan experience, you want to see people debating and sharing anecdotes. And I think the broadcast team has been pretty good also. But yeah, commentary is, I am very disappointed with the fact that there is no research, absolutely no research at all about domestic players, and
Yeah, I was
especially when
going to come
experience.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is something I'm very disappointed with, and the disappointment not comes from, I don't even expect the male broadcaster to have any knowledge. They are there for face value, I know. But the people who are involved with women's cricket, a few of the ex-cricketers not knowing, women's cricketer not knowing who's this youngster, it is a big let off for me. And I'm like, oh come on, you should have known that. If I can know about it, you should have known that for sure. Like that's literally your job. So I mean, with broadcast quality, I don't think I have any complaints. But with commentary, I am disappointed.
especially the Hindi commentary, right? So there have been at least 3-4 times that I've heard the commentators say batsman and then not correct himself
Correct.
even once. So it's I don't think it's that big a deal because it's again we are creatures of habit and you have to give people a certain amount of time to get used to certain processes. But it doesn't take that much effort, right? You just have to stay a little conscious and alive to the moment just to say batter instead of batsman because that is the universally accepted word phrase now according to ICC as well. So there's no need for you to even utter the word batsman even if it's men's cricket. So yeah, those are the simple things that we are yet to get right, especially when it comes to the Hindi commentary aspect of it. The English commentary has been pretty decent. The people like Harsha Bhogle, Anjum Chopra, and all of the others, they have done Ravi Shastri has been a fresh change to the commentary panel as well. So yeah, Tausif, any thoughts?
I think, what Pritish said, the broadcasting in that aspect has been pretty good. But when it comes to the commentary, I feel that it is a certain thing about recognition which you as a commentator should know, especially when it's an Indian commentator, to know the domestic circuit, to know the players, their performances, everything. But that is certainly not the case with everyone. But then you know that these things will improve in the future or the next season and the following seasons after that. So I think as a base, we have covered pretty good because the foundation lies on English commentary, I'll say, which makes the sport global. So in that aspect, I think the broadcasting has been pretty good. But yes, there are a lot of things that need to be improved because at the end of the day, it's about the players performing and them getting recognition.
I think I'll mention this also. So I was reading this. Obviously, I don't understand Tamil, but I have people who understand Tamil, and I was in like having conversation with Abhinav Mukund, and there is this cricket coach Arati. These both guys have taken Tamil commentary to a very next level. Like they had doing fabulous job. I don't understand the language obviously, so I can't tell you what's going on there. But what people have told me, what I have read on Twitter, that like they are doing very insightful and anecdotal commentary. Where they're talking about player. They have got their research right, and I trust Avina Mukund to deliver that. He has been a very good in wherever I have seen him. And Aarti, I researched about her a bit. So she's a like coach in Tamil Nadu only, and she has been doing like pretty well the commentary part. So if any Tamil viewers here, you can watch the commentary on native language because what I have heard is it's brilliant.
I think it's at the end of the day, it's all about the amount of research that they put in before a match. Because even if it's men's cricket or it's women's cricket, that is beyond a point. So if someone knows his or her subject, then it is much easier for them to convey that message. So I think these preparations need to be tackled on the part of these commentators as professionals rather than blaming the structure or things like that. Because yes, good commentators are flourishing. As said, Priti said, Avindra Mukund had been good in English also during the auction, and like he is doing this now in Tamil. So it just shows if you put in a certain amount of research and you know your subject well, then it becomes much easier and more interesting for the audience.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of homework that you need to do when you are doing anything new, right? So that is what it comes down to, especially because people from our generation, we have been fed a healthy diet of good commentary when it comes to both cricket, football, even hockey during any of the major multi-sports events, Olympics ho gaya, Asian Games ho gaya. So we have been fed a healthy diet of good commentary in our growing up years. So anytime that we hear someone doing an average quality of work, it immediately becomes very obvious that they haven't done the research that needs to go into a job of this stature. So that is what it is at the end of the day, I think. So and many of the ex players, they right, like Pritish rightly said, they are there just for face value because they are recognizable faces from Indian cricket, and to reach the tier 2 tier 3 cities you need people to recognize the person that they are watching on the screen, and most of the tier 2, tier 3 cities wouldn't have had that much exposure to women's cricket before. So that is understandable. But even then, if you have played the sport before, if you are associated with the sport at any level inside the country, you must be knowing, you must have relevant insight that can enrich the viewing experience. That is the whole point. So that in that respect we are still lacking, but yeah, overall I agree the broadcast has been pretty good so far, and lag वगैरह जैसी चीजें तो नहीं हो रही, एटलीस्ट मेरे डिवाइसेस पे तो नहीं हुआ है अभी तक. So yeah, that is also something that has been a positive from this season. So yeah, that is all for now. We have another interesting match that will take place tonight. uh, we'll see you next once the group matches are in towards the final end. uh, we have made our choices for the top four. Let's see if those match or if there's any surprise that is yet to come from any of the teams that are in the bottom of the table. So yeah, thank you guys, thank you for joining in, and thank you for your comments. We'll see you again soon, and let's hope the drama, the excitement continues.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.